Man, I'm excited. I'm excited because this topic here, I know people have been waiting on, and I kind of want to hit it hard here. So I want to make sure that we get everything covered in this topic. A lot of times, expectations really gets in the way of some time of reality, right? So, when we're talking about the cost of living adjustments, everyone may not get what they desire because, as you mentioned before, it could be possibly living in abundance or not because everyone is not, right? And I want to make sure that we highlight because it can be a little sensitive in nature. But however, when we're talking about veterans, when we're talking about disabled personnel, when we're talking about active duty military, when we're talking about federal government, some federal government workers, employees, and different things of that nature, they are entitled to a cost of living adjustment because things, do get more expensive over time. So with that cost of living adjustment, these are some of the things in nature that can apply.
Absolutely. Great, great. So now I was kind of actually reading some of the things on the notes and things, man, and I'm seeing that it's a 3.2 increase coming up now here.
2024 veterans, please be waiting on your 3.2% cost of living adjustment being applied to your disability compensation starting January 1st, enacted December 1st, 2023. But obviously, we know the VA, they pay in something called omnibus, right? So just because it was enacted in December, it's not going to pay out until the next month in January. Okay, so with that being said, it's going to be applied of a 3.2% increase. Okay, this 3.2% increase is the cost of living adjustment that's being reported. That has been reported October 12th, 2023. So we just want to make sure that we roll this out. Okay, we want to make sure that this rolls out. Again, confirmed but in regards to the Social Security Administration. So with that, January 24th, be expecting that, right? So that's awesome.
3.2% is, it's okay, but, some of the sentiments of the veteran community is like, well, wow, was that it? I mean, we
Mhm.
think about, what happened last year. It was a little bit over 8%.
Yeah,
And we're looking at it, and, our veteran community and, even everyone right now is just kind of tight on funding
yeah,
with the cost of living increases just for basic needs, right? Housing has went up so much, and
yeah.
high interest rates everywhere is running ragged, and it's like 3.2. It's like, okay, yes, I'll take it, but it's just like, why is it only 3.2%?
I can understand that, right? I can understand that because it really does take an effect, right? So when we're talking about 3.2%, we must kind of pull the lens back, right? So let's focus, right? Pull the lens back so we can start looking at historical views. Just like when we're talking about mortgages, right? When we're talking about VA home loan mortgages, when 2% interest rates was running rampant, that's awesome. But interest rates did skyrocket a bit and jump a bit to about 7% now, right? So, but now when we're talking about pulling that back and understanding the cost of living adjustment, the cost of living adjustment transpired over the last 10 years was at a rate of 1.8% if you average it out, okay? 1.88%. So again, that's about 1.9%. The average over the last 3 years for the cost of living adjustments for the VA has been 5.9%. So not is it on par, right? But it's above. So the government has, I believe, has been warranting these adjustments due to the cost of living that has been running rampant. But I believe it is on par with what inflation is doing with us. So with that being said, I want to make sure that we understand in whole in nature that over the last 3 years, on average, we had a 5.9% increase, which, again, when we're talking about over the last 10 years of inflation, has been about 1.9%.
Higher than the inflation, and I guess they're trying to stay ahead of the curve as much as they can. And they've been doing a lot of positive initiatives there. So
Yeah.
now, when our veterans are kind of looking at that check that's going to be coming to them in January, right?
Hmm.
And they're looking at like, okay, well, what does the 3.2% increase actually translate out to in dollars in different figures? Do you kind of have any information on what they should be expecting regarding that?
Yeah, so anytime that a cost of living adjustment applies, I always like to kind of give it in very simple terms or very simple metrics, right? So when we're talking about the adjustment of 3.2%, so if you're receiving $1,000 in pay, now you should be expected to receive $1,032,
Okay.
right? Just kind of comparing apples to apples. Which then is going to make sure that you receive that adjustment there, but be expecting it. It's an automatic adjustment that typically will happen on January 1st, 2024. So if you do not receive that, make sure you call the VA benefits line so you can actually see what's going on, because that's something that you're entitled to automatically coming this January.
How do they calculate the 3.2 in the sense that, let's say, okay, I have my base benefits, right? Well, let's say maybe I'm at 50%, right? And
Hmm.
then maybe I'm married, so I have the spouse that's added on to my award. I have
Hmm.
my dependents, other
Hmm.
dependents added on to the award as far as children and different things of that nature. So is it added to the lump sum of the total that I receive
Hmm.
for my 50%, or is it just 3.2% of the base, 3.2 of the actual dependent pay, and et cetera, et cetera? How do they actually calculate that?
That's great, great question. Well, how it's calculated is that regardless of any other, special compensation you're receiving, such as dependents, such as special monthly compensation, such as any type of additional benefits, okay, outside of the ancillary benefits, such as education benefits and such, it's going to be tacked on to the entitlement, the total entitlement. Okay, so with that being said, so everything is going to get your full entitlement. It's going to get a 3.2% increase. All right, so that's how that works. Yeah, that compensation, if it isn't tacked onto your award, go ahead and reach out, see what's going on, and just make sure that again that you're being properly compensated, because things do happen. Obviously the system is not foolproof, so you just want to make sure that you're getting what you deserve.
Mention like education benefits and different things like that. So I want to make sure that our community is aware that this just applies to the monthly compensation, right?
Yeah.
It's been increased by 3.2%. And I guess they have increased the other educational benefits, but that was a different level of increase there.
Yeah. So what it was that now when we're talking about the cost of living adjustment, that's different from ancillary benefits such as Veteran Employment Readiness Program, or also known as voc rehab. Right. That was increased. That substantial pay was increased by 6.2%. Okay, which was huge, which was a pretty large increase. So when we're talking about these benefits that's enacted, they're trying to really be on par with what's out here. And also Chapter 35, right? Chapter 35, that was another that was increased by 6.2%. Okay, so those monies have been actually already enacted, and that increase has already, should be receiving at this moment. So if you're a veteran who's utilizing these two benefits, education benefits and such, or any other benefits that's been increased, make sure you check with the Department of Veterans Affairs to make sure that increase has been enacted towards you.
Pretty powerful, and that's wonderful to know. And we actually have videos on the channel here. I'll actually link them in the description below regarding the changes to Chapter 35, Chapter 31, and just really breaking down those different increases. So definitely tune into those videos. Tune into the Prepare to Compete podcast as a whole. We always love to be on the cutting edge of really educating you guys on everything compensation wise, and just everything regarding your VA benefits and your knowledge here. So now,
Yes, sir.
is there any other points that you want to close with here, Kenneth, regarding this topic, or anything else they should know regarding the cost of living
I
increase?
want to make sure when we're talking about veterans, we're always looking to support, right? Now, when we're talking about the increase, a lot of veterans typically don't increase their lifestyles. It is to support their lifestyles, right, with the cost of living adjustment, because things are getting expensive. I want to make sure that veterans are understanding that, with these cost of living adjustments, we need to make sure that we're trying to um, put it where it really works, right? Because unfortunately, many veterans are not, uh, you know, sometimes handling their benefits correctly. So at any point in time that you guys need a little assistance in regards to, advice in regards to home ownership or different things of that nature, which you can always reinvest into yourself and your family by taking advantage of the VA home loan benefit. That is one way to make sure that your pay increase serves you and your family as well by reinvesting. So make sure that you take a look at that, and we'll talk more about the VA home loan benefit as we support that on a regular basis. So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. We definitely want to empower the veteran community to really just take advantage and maximize all your awards. Just do what you need to do to take care of your family the best way you can. Understand that this money that you're receiving is increased. Try to actually save it if you can, right? You weren't getting that money last year. If you can, actually, if you were getting $1,000, for example, and now it's 1,032. Now imagine the power of being able to invest that extra $32 a month or put that towards savings and different things of that nature. Again, obviously, we know some people budgets are a lot tighter, so obviously, you need to utilize that to pay your normal expenses, definitely do as needed. But if you can avoid increasing your cost of living by going out and buying a new car, right, or going out and buying some different more luxury items, try to avoid doing so and try to set the goal for 2024 to actually save more, right? We are definitely headed to some darker times here in regards to uh, what some may say a recession coming up, right? So any type of funds that you can put up is definitely advisable to do so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, with that, again, we're always here to support, serve, and make sure that we honor our veterans. So, with that being said, prepare to compete.
We
We're
out.
out.
Peace.